I do not. I have totally not done newsletter, and I'm just starting up like the last month. So I have like probably 400 newsletter people that heard from me about 2 years ago and have not heard from me since.
Yeah.
Maybe a year and a half ago. So I'm trying to, now I've got my automation going for all my new subscribers. So like the last, several hundred are fine. But I'm talking about, I've got to somehow re-engage. I just wonder if anybody had any.
Well, when I first started 5 years ago, I was on my dad's email newsletter list. And I'm in my dad's email server, and it was, MailChimp's a lot cleaner. And so when I switched to MailChimp, I wanted to import all those email addresses. There was about 1,000 of them, and MailChimp was like, you can't do that. So what I did was I emailed them individually, and it took forever, not individually one at a time. I copy and paste about 100 at a time, and I asked them to resubscribe themselves.
Okay.
Because a lot of them don't care anymore, and you're not going to ever get them to care again, I mean,
Yep.
You just get to the point where it doesn't matter. Like what if, some of them probably died, I mean, a lot of my readers are elderly women, and so,
That's odd.
We'll go over results of my
So
things.
that's a great point. I need to maybe have them almost reset.
Yeah, and MailChimp, if you're not on MailChimp though, but at most...
I'm not, but it's fine. I can figure
But
it out.
most providers, I was going to say most providers will actually blacklist you even if you subscribe or add email addresses that are outdated or, does the subscriber where you have
That's
those...
through MailPoet. And it'll be
Okay.
fine. It's
Okay.
my own. I maintain my own list, but I can run a cleanup.
Yeah.
Which I will.
Yeah, see my list, I run a couple giveaways and so people had to sign up that way and I had fake email addresses on there that I didn't know about because my dad's server didn't clean them, And so that was really good because I got all the dedicated readers back and then the ones that didn't care. I'm still having stragglers. I set up a separate list so I could monitor and about once a month I get somebody else come and sign up for it. So I'm like, okay, so they're getting that email and then they're like, hey, where did her emails go? And they come and sign up, Okay, so the goal is to get people to unsubscribe. You don't want people on your list who aren't readers. So if you're emailing once a week, these are going to be the people that actually want to hear from you as opposed to people who don't care. If you email every day, then they're going to mark you as spam. But if you email once a week, that's not enough for them to get annoyed. I've only been marked spam, I think, once. And my feelings were hurt. It's like, I'm not spam!
Well, how do you know that they marked you spam?
MailChimp tells you.
Oh, okay.
It's very nice. Their reporting system. Oh my goodness, it's so nice. Okay, so the goal is for people to get to know you, and it's for you to get to know your readers, and you want to keep your name fresh because that increases your downloads and increases positive interactions. And as a result, they actually care about you. And which, if you care about somebody and you already love their books, you're going to be more likely to read their books, all of them, Okay. Responses to my questions. Okay, so I asked my readers any suggestions for my reader group. And they, these are some of the comments they've made. You are one of the rare authors who keeps in touch with your readers, so keep it up. And I got that multiple times. So they love it, whatever. Okay, I enjoy your updates and appreciate you asking for input. I do polls like once or twice a month. And they love it. And you know what? At first I was like, please answer, until I realized that they love it. And then I was like, gold mine! Because you can ask any question you want in a poll, and because they're easy to answer, you get responses,
What do you use for polls? Because
I use Google Drive, Google Docs.
So you just use a Google Doc.
Yeah.
I tried to find something that made it look fancy and stuff, and it said only 25 people for the free one could respond. I was like, whoa.
That's so stupid.
25, I mean...
So you just
worth
use
it.
a Google Doc like...
Do you want to see it really
survey.
fast or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
would.
created one in Google Docs, but
Did
I
you?
wasn't sure if that was like the best way to do it.
Almost like a...
It's a form.
Just like a questionnaire. Okay.
Yeah, I'll show you. I just barely set up a new one, and it has I think 5 answers on it. Once I get, I'll ask a question, and then when I realize that it's not a narrow enough question, I'll redo the poll completely just to keep my numbers clean, So I'll show you really fast the one that I just set up. I think I do polls all the time.
Yeah. That's about it. Okay.
This is it right here. We'll see.
Yes.
Oh, Google form you can customize. Yes.
Yeah, this is it. Okay, so this is what I do. Okay, so this is the way it looks when you're editing, so you can come in here and edit it,
Yeah.
And I tell them fill out as much or as little of the following as you'd like, and I say thanks, and then I just ask my questions like this. And I've never, obviously it's free, Google's never, gotten mad at me. And we'll actually be going through these questions in just a bit, because I think The thing is, readers of ebooks tend to be the same across. They read different genres, but their personalities and habits tend to be the same because ebook readers are all old people. Old meaning not young adults, because I target young adults. You know, I target young adults. I don't target young adults. My readers are like 55 average age. Okay, we'll go over my poll in just a minute, but I'm trying to stay on task in here. Okay, my current automation sequence, the first email is a freebie. The second email is the follow-up email. Did you get the freebie? The third one is the connect elsewhere, like on Facebook. The fourth is sell the next book. It's okay. So what I've got is, in my case, I'm selling my Kent University box set. So I say this next book is book 3 is Perceive. It's $3.99. But if you want to buy the box set for $5.99, it's 5 books for $5.99. 2 of them they got for free. You know, so $6.99, $7, $8, $9.99, or almost $10, and so they're buying it for $5.99. So that's a good discount, right? And I found that yeah, keeping it at $5.99 has actually been. I'm scared to raise it. I want to raise it to $6.99, but like if my sales all drop off the planet, you know, it's a lot of money to start losing. Okay, so the fifth one is my reader poll, and the questions I ask are: how you found me, which book of mine did you read first, where do you buy your books, where are you located, what is your gender, what is your age, and then my age. I have a disclaimer on the average age of my readers because a lot of people, they apologize to me in their emails. They're like, I'm not your typical young adult reader, I'm 70, and I'm like, you're the typical young adult reader. Suggestions to improve my list. Okay, number 6 is the freebie. Books 1 and 2 in my other series is a freebie, so that's part of my starter kit. 7th, I sell another book. I think it's like probably I don't remember which one it is. 8 is a request for reviews on my main perma-free. And I think number 8, I think you guys got that on my list. It's like I'm talking about my biggest dream, or, you know, like what I want to do if I had enough money to do it. And then I say, you can help me out by writing a review. 9th is DIY projects, and I have merchandise for my books, and my husband and I put them together. All the merchandise we created on our own, and so like that's been my favorite DIY project. So I asked them what theirs are. 10th, I sell another book. 11, I ask for recipe recommendations. 12, I tell them why authors run promotions, and I ask them to follow me on BookBub. 13th, I sell another book. 14th is a gag reel for my books. You know, typos and editing errors I've made in my books. Readers have loved that. And I've been collecting them since the very, very, very first book I wrote. Oh, some of my initial errors they're funny because I didn't know anything. 15th is a humorous short story or short character interview between 2 characters. 16, I sell another book. 17th, I tell them the progression of book covers I've gone through. For specific books. 18, I invite them to my street team. Okay.
So you don't invite till final Wednesday?
Yeah, the reason I do that is because I want to give readers plenty of opportunities to buy. I don't want them to. I don't want the freeloaders, you know. And I have enough people on my street team now where I don't care if people unsubscribe before they hear about getting free books, you know. Because I don't need to have a huge street team. You want a targeted street team more than a huge one. But I mean, like Mark Dawson has like 900 people on his street team, and that's, you know, he gets lots of reviews. I've got 250. Not all of them are active. Some of them, I give leeway. I tell them that they're required to be participating actively, but I can't kick somebody off. Like this lady, she's like, well, my husband passed away last week. I'm like, I can't kick you off the group because you're not participating because your spouse died. And that's another reason.
Know by name. That's crazy.
What's that?
It sounds like you almost know them by name. Which
I know them by email address.
By email address.
Because they don't
that's
always
it.
put their names
Right,
on
right,
it, you
yeah,
know. And so I'm like, I know who Goku is.
That's cool.
So how do you make sure they're actually reviewing? Or
they send me links. Okay, so this is my policy. I don't read my reviews, and I tell them I don't read my reviews, and that actually gets them to post reviews more. And so if they know you're not going to be reading over their shoulder, then they'll be more likely to post a review. So I tell them, I say I don't read my reviews, but send me a link to your review, or tell me what your Amazon reviewer name is so that I can verify. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't actually verify. but because they know that if they send me and if I don't find it, then I mean, they assume that I do go and look, and I'm like, maybe that's dishonest, but it saves time for me, and I don't care if a few people cheat,
So do you do it for like every book or?
No, just like the first books, like my permafree and my box sets. Like the ones that I promote the most, the ones that I put on BookBub, those are the ones that I ask for reviews on. Is that door open? No, it's not. Okay.
What's 14 and 15?
14 and 15. 14 is a gag reel. 15 is humorous short character interview.
14 was a gag reel?
Do you know what a gag reel is?
No.
You watch movies and they have like a blooper reel.
Okay.
They're called gag reels. It's like whenever there's errors, in a movie, and it's funny, if you've ever watched a movie that had that, have you?
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, you are missing out on life if you haven't seen one of those.
So are you suggesting we do the 19 or
No, I'm
the
suggesting-
set number?
Okay, how many books do you want to sell to your readers?
Okay.
And so you want to pad those. You're
Okay.
selling emails, you want to have 2 to 3 emails in between that
between.
aren't selling.
Okay.
So I'm just selling, I focus on the first books in my series. And so I'm not selling every single book, I'm just telling them about the first book in a new series.
Okay.
That's why there's 19 emails. Which some people would say that's way overboard, but you know what? I'm selling books more now than I did before, and so it's worth it
Well,
to
you
me.
have a big back collection too.
Well, and they don't know that you're not.
They don't know that it's
automated.
19 automatic emails. No, they don't.
But I understand why now you don't want to double up with your other emails that you're sending out.
Yeah.
So what you do is you only send certain emails to people who have signed up before a certain date.
Yeah. And I just keep track, and it's sometimes I confuse myself. But now that I've simplified it, I don't have the 2 groups leading to the main one. I just have the one that only gets 1 subscriber a day, and then I have all of them signing up on the main one. It's so much easier to keep track of now.
Yeah.
Because I used to have to import people over and all that. Holy cow, somebody on Twitter is way going off. I've got 42 Twitter messages. And I only have a few people go to my phone. Okay, so then the last email is the how are you email that gets sent a few months later. My chair has slowly sunk down. I'm reclined now. Okay, so my automation sequence. Evergreen emails, you don't need to update your emails all the time. So that's basically what an evergreen email is. It's something that can just sit, and readers, it won't say something like, hey, I've had the flu this week. Something like that is not evergreen. And you use them to pad the emails that sell books. I don't have a lot of data on my later emails because I set up my full length, my 19 email. It's only been going for 8 weeks. And so I've got all the way through the 8th email, or maybe it's the 10th email because it's 8 weeks. Anyway, so my open and clicks drop from 85 to 65. So 85 open and 65 open to around 40 to 50% opens and 20 to 25% clicks. 25 to 20% clicks. I've been talking too long. Okay, so the freebie email has the most opens. So I'll get 85% open rate and then 65% click rate on there, which is good because then I know that people are actually following through. And then, like I said, it settles to 40 to 50% opens and 20 to 25% clicks. If I'm getting lower than that, then I probably subscribe people who aren't totally interested. So, like, honestly, the APR, I only got 25% opens on those on the free email. That's when I was like, I just automatically subscribe them all. So I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to be doing what I said. I'm sending them to my landing page, resubscribing them, because it's just not worth it to have people who don't care, Okay, result of the polls for people who care, and I think that you should care because a lot of readers, BookBub has shown that readers of ebooks share characteristics. Okay, so my genre is paranormal romance / urban fantasy, and it's technically new adult because it's college, but I market them as YA and adult, and I've had good results with both. Okay, so how they found me, 34% found me through BookBub. BookBub, the elusive BookBub, right? 21% surfing a retailer's website, 18% through a giveaway. So, giveaways do work. Those are my top 3. I had other options like through friends on Facebook, and those ones had so little results. I had 11 options that only I only included the 3 right there.
Do you think the surfing retailers, is that just Amazon? Is that what they're
Yeah, like 85% of them buy on Amazon.
Okay, that's not okay.
Yeah. So the reason I think that's important is you want your product page to be as best as possible as you can. Like you want to have a hook at the very top, Have you guys know who Brian Cohen is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Brian Cohen's, his free videos, on descriptions and stuff like that, like do everything you can. This is what I do. I stock authors when I know that they've been marketing and podcasting a lot. So like Mark Dawson's been interviewed on a whole bunch of different podcasts. And when I was learning about Facebook ads, I went and listened to all of his interviews because gradually they tell you everything that's in their paid course. But I also wanted to have access to everything, so that's why we ended up paying for it. But Mark Dawson's, or Brian Cohen's the same. He teaches a lot about writing good descriptions and making your product page look really good, and his advice has been very helpful.
When you say we paid for it, did you do it because you took it as a group of authors?
No, me and my husband.
Oh, okay.
He's my partner.
Okay.
Like you know, everything I do, he
Great.
does.
I was just trying to understand. Okay, thanks.
I point. I'm like the man that's over there.
The bedroom door. That white door.
Yep.
Apartment.
Okay, how long was it before you were able to get a BookBub?
I got one when I had 2 books out. I got BookBub. I got BookBub 5 years ago. So
Okay,
4
was-
years ago.
was
I was
it
one of
newer?
probably one of the very first ones.
Okay.
And I think that's one reason why they accept me regularly. I've submitted 4 times and I've been accepted 3 times this year.
okay.
And it's because I think it's because I have a proven track record with them, but it's also because I've been doing it for long enough where they know
I know you.
that they know me. They know that I get good downloads, you know. And so it's, you know,
Do you do the free?
I do free. I've done paid. My paid haven't, like, okay, so I did 99 on my box set, and I made like $4,000 off of that promotion, off of the 99
Box set.
cents.
They like box sets.
Oh, they love box sets. I do a lot of free box sets. Books 1, 2, and 3 in my Kalani series for free. That was the last one I did. That was June 11th, and I don't remember how, I think I had like 8,000 downloads on it. And middle grade, the average is like 3,000, you know, and so I give them something that's irresistible.
Okay, so for example, you have 6 books in your series. You make a box set of the first 3. You
And a
make
box set of the last 3.
How do you make that free on Amazon? Other
Perma
than
free.
doing- Okay, but then you have to like put it on all the other
Mhm.
sites, then go in and say match it, and then it takes weeks and weeks for them to do it.
I emailed Amazon,
I just
and they did it
And
2
they're
hours
quick-
later.
They're quicker than.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've had such a
Less than
struggle
a day.
sometimes. You
They
do the
always-
Amazon Help Center, the author help.
Yeah,
Contact
and
us
they'll
at the
sometimes
bottom.
tell you no, but if you're running a promotion at the same time, a 99-cent promotion, and they see that there's traffic going to it, they'll be more inclined to obey.
Okay.
Obey.
Go along with.
Yes, thank you.
Accommodate. Okay.
Yeah, so
Like
I don't
that.
ever do the tell us about a lower price because it's such a waste of time, and you have
Really?
to rally
Yeah.
so many
I
people.
didn't realize you could just contact them directly. I've
Oh,
always
I
done
know.
tell us about a lower, and then you keep telling them about it.
And when so it was like a dirty little secret. Nobody would tell anybody that's how you did it. And when they did, people were like, I couldn't ever email Amazon. That's just scary. And I'm like, it's coming to the point now where people are like, okay, I'll just go ahead and email them. And Amazon, they tell you in their emails that we retain discretion over prices, and they're sometimes very whiny.
Okay.
But you know,
Okay. Thank you.
yeah. Okay, so I'm continuing. Did I answer?
Will they leave it as perma free, or do you say you want?
Sometimes
it
they
and
won't.
leave
Sometimes
it?
they'll change your price right after BookBub promotion to $3.99, and then you'll lose all your downloads.
Oh.
That was awful. But I mean, the day of, it was still perma free. Amazon sometimes will, like, if your book, iTunes, for example, my book got rejected because I had an image advertising a free book, and so iTunes dropped the book. This happened this year. My first book was a BookBub promotion, and they had it up for 2 months, so the expiration date was 2 months later. A month after it went through, Amazon raised the price. And even though I got it price matched to Nook and Kobo, like hours later, I lost all the momentum. And so I'm like, just for the iTunes, I won't even go there anymore, you know, because Amazon usually matches them faster than Kobo and even sometimes Nook now.
So you got your BookBub's promotion slot.
No, it went through.
Okay, but then
But-
what do you do? Do you lower it first with Amazon, or do you get your BookBub promotion first and then hope that Amazon will obey?
It's always risky to do it that way, but some people do. You know, I mean, some
What do
people
you do
have.
first?
I do perma free first. I make
Okay.
sure it's a perma free, and then like the books 1, 2, and 3, I put it as a perma free. On all the other sites, I reported Amazon, and then like an hour after it was reported as free or went down to free, I emailed BookBub. You know, I did the whole submission.
Okay, so you did it first
Yeah.
before you went to BookBub.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was one thing I told BookBub. I was like, it's only been a perma free for a couple hours. Not even my readers know about it, and they accepted it like, you know, that day. And so they want the best deal possible. And so, that was what I was gonna say. Like, I'm actually toying with the idea of giving my whole Kalani series for free, the whole entire box set for free, because it doesn't hurt. I don't make money on that series anyway, so why not? You know, and a lot of those readers, the ones that are passionate readers, do read everything I write. and I make all my money on my next series, you know. So
Yeah, that's my daughter because we got the 99-cent thing, and I think she read them all in I don't know, like crazy, like 6 days. Like,
did she read the ebooks?
yeah.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah, so immediately she was like, well, what else does she write? What can I? So then immediately we had bought the whole catalog.
Yeah.
Like,
Has she read my Kate University series?
I don't know.
Okay.
I know she's
They're
read
a little
all,
bit older.
I know that she's read all of the like little romance.
Little romances, those are cute. All right, let's see. Okay, so where they buy books, 85% through Amazon, 6% through Nook, and 2% Kobo and 2% iTunes. My Kobo readers are very vocal. I think I was telling you that earlier. So even though only 2% of them so far are buying from Kobo, like they're so vocal, and they're some of my favorite readers. I'm like, I couldn't ever desert them.
Kobo is who? Is it still made?
What?
Kobo?
Is it domain? What?
No, who is it? I didn't know they still made readers for.
Kobo, let's see. Kobo is like Amazon. They have Kobo reading devices. They've got a retailer store that's only ebooks.
I didn't realize they still existed.
Yeah, they do. They took over Sony's readers. Okay, so gender, only 20 or so men have filled out the poll out of several hundred. So I guess, but I would guess around 85% are women. Might be up to 90%. Just because they're not answering doesn't mean they don't exist, you know. Ages, 40% between 46 and 60, 27% between 31 and 45, 19% between 61 and 75. And according to BookBub, this is typical of ebook readers, so stop targeting younger readers. That's the takeaway. You will find passionate younger readers, but my younger readers almost never buy. They only want the print books, and they're very sassy, and they're very entitled. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just not going to play that game anymore. I just target people who are baby boomers, you know, people who actually appreciate ebooks, and like, why not if you're making more money, right? Okay, I asked them, what is a fair price for full-length book? 28% said $2.99, 23% said $3.99, 22% said $1.99, and 15% said $4.99. I had a few people say 99 cents. I've had some really sassy people say a book should never ever be priced more than $3 because it doesn't cost anything to produce. And I'm like, you want to bet?
Yeah.
I'm like, who pays for the editing, you know? I mean, the book pays for the editing. Okay, so optimizing your stuff, and we're going to take a break really fast so I can restart the recorder.
So I know in the author mark what APR